Hi everyone and welcome. In this tutorial I'm going to show you how to crochet these really pretty crochet stars or snowflakes. We're going to start off with the smaller one first and then we will build upon that to make the larger one. I'm going to be using some Hobbii Twister solid yarn. This was kindly gifted to me by Hobbii for the purposes of making this tutorial. And I'll be using that with a 3.5mm hook. To get started, we're going to take our yarn and make a slip knot. And we're going to pop that on our hook. And we're going to chain 8. 3 and 4. And we're going to make that into a circle by popping our hook into the chain furthest away. We're going to grab that yarn and pull through, and then pull through the loop that's on our hook. And that creates our circle that's going to form the basis of the star. If you prefer, you can of course use a magic ring. To begin round 1, we're going to chain 5. And this counts as a stitch plus our chain space. And then for our first stitch, we're going to work a UK treble crochet. Don't forget, I do use UK crochet terminology. If you're in the US, this is a US double crochet. So we'll yarn over, insert our hook into the center of our ring, grab the yarn and pull through, grab the yarn and pull through 2, grab the yarn and pull through 2. That completes our first stitch. And then we're going to chain 3. And we're going to do that for a total of 7 times. So we'll yarn over, insert our hook, yarn over and pull through, yarn over and pull through 2, yarn over and pull through 2 to make our stitch. And then we'll follow that with a chain 3. I'm going to continue working my way around the circle until I've repeated that for a total of 7 times. So you go ahead and do the same, and then I will come back and I'll show you how to finish off the round. Once you've worked your way around and finished all of your repeats, we're going to finish off round 1 by working a slip stitch into the 3rd chain from the bottom here. So this is the beginning chain 5 that we started with. I find it easier to count backwards, so here's chain number 5, 4, and this one here is chain number 3. So we're going to pop our hook into there, grab the yarn and pull through the loop on our hook as well. And it's a good idea to check at this stage that you've worked the correct number of stitches, and you can do that by counting these spaces here. You should have 8 of these, and if you have more or less, you either need to work an extra pattern repeat or take one off. For round number 2, we're going to slip stitch into this chain space here, next along, and we're going to chain 2, and that counts as our first treble crochet or US double crochet. We're going to yarn over and work another treble crochet into that same space. And then we're going to chain 3. And we're going to work another 2 treble crochets into the same space there. And then we're going to chain 1 to move along to the next space. And we're going to do exactly the same thing. We're going to work 2 trebles. We're going to chain 3 and then work another 2 treble crochets into that same space. And then we're going to chain 1 to move along to the next space, and we're going to do that all of the way around. So into each one of these chain spaces here, we're going to work 2 trebles, a chain 3 and 2 trebles, and then chain 1 to get to the next space and work another 2 trebles, chain 3, 2 trebles, and so on. I'm going to continue working my way around, and you go ahead and do the same, and then I'll meet you back and I'll show you how to finish off round 2 and how to start number 3. So I've just worked my way around now, and I've just done my chain 1 to move along to the next space. And to finish off this round, I'm going to join with a slip stitch to the top of the chain 2 from the very beginning of the round. And that completes round number 2. For round 3, we need to slip stitch across to get into this chain space here. So to do that, I'm going to slip stitch into this next treble crochet, and then again slip stitch into that next space along. And then we're going to chain 2, which counts as our first stitch, and then we're going to work another treble crochet into that same space. We're going to chain 3, and we're going to work another 2 treble crochets into that same space there. We're going to chain 1 to move across, and this time what we're going to do is work a UK double crochet, which is a US single crochet, into the chain 1 space from the round before. So if you look here, we've got our 2 trebles, a space, and our 2 trebles. We're going to go in between these with a double crochet. So just insert your hook, grab the yarn and pull through. You'll have 2 loops. Grab the yarn and pull through both loops, and then we're going to chain 1 again to move across into this next space. Into this next space, we're going to work 2 treble crochets, we're going to chain 3, and we're going to work another 2 treble crochets into that same space. We're going to chain 1 to move across to the next space, and into this space here, we're going to work a double crochet, and then chain 1 to move across to the next space, and into this one, we're going to work our 2 trebles, chain 3, and 2 trebles. So I'll just walk you through that one more time. So 2 treble crochets, a chain 3, and another 2 treble crochets, chain 1 to move along to the next space, and into this one we're going to do a double crochet, and then again we'll chain 1 to move across to the next space. So continue working your way around, so into each one of these big spaces here, which was created by the chain 3 from the previous round. You'll do 2 trebles, a chain 3, and 2 trebles. You'll chain 1 to get to the next space, work a double crochet, chain 1 to move across again, and then you'll repeat that all of the way around. So I'm going to continue working my way around now, and then I will come back and I'll show you how to finish off round 3. And then if you're continuing to make the big star, I'll show you how to work the final 2 rounds. So I'm back at the beginning now. I've just worked my double crochet and chain 1. And to finish off this round, we're going to make a slip stitch into the top of this chain 2 from the very beginning. So just pop your hook through there and pull that yarn through, and then again, and that completes round number 3, and that actually finishes our small star. If you want to continue to work the large star, there are 2 more rounds. So in order to begin round number 4, we're going to slip stitch our way across again. So we'll slip stitch into that next treble crochet, and then again into that chain space. Just like before, we're going to chain 2, which counts as our first treble crochet. This time we're going to work another 2 treble crochets, so that counts as 3 stitches altogether. we're going to chain 3, and we're going to work another 3 treble crochets into that same space. We're going to chain 2 this time to move across because the star is growing now, so we've got a bit further to travel. And then into this double crochet here, we're going to work another double crochet. So work a double crochet into the top of that stitch, and then we're going to chain 2 to move back across to this next space here. And into this next space, we're going to work 3 treble crochets. We're going to chain 3, and we're going to work another 3 treble crochets into that same space. And then we need to move across to this next stitch here. So in order to do that, we need to chain 2, and then into this double crochet here, we're going to work another double crochet. And then we're going to chain 2 to move back across. So I'm going to talk you through that one more time. So into this next chain 3 space, we're going to work 3 treble crochets. We're going to chain 3, and then we're going to work another 3 treble crochets into that same space. We're going to chain 2 to move across, and then into this double crochet here, we're going to work another double crochet, and then chain 2 again to move back across. So into each one of these points here, you're going to be working 3 trebles, a chain 3 and 3 trebles, and then you'll chain 2 to move across to do a double crochet here, and then chain 2 again to move back to the next point, and you will continue repeating that all the way around. And then I will come back and I'll show you how to finish off and how to begin the final round. At the end of this round, you're going to finish off exactly the same way as before. So I've just worked my double crochet and my chain 2, and then I'm going to look for the top of the starting chain from the beginning. I'm going to put my hook through there and work a slip stitch to join. We've got 1 round left, so again we need to slip stitch our way across. So we'll work a slip stitch into that next treble, and then the next one, and finally into that chain 3 space. We're going to chain 2, and as usual that counts as our first stitch. This time we're going to work another 3 treble crochets into that same space. So with our chain stitches, that counts as 4 stitches in total. We're going to chain 3, and we're going to work another 4 treble crochets. And 4. And now we need to move across to the next space, and because the star is even bigger this round, we're going to chain 3 this time to move us across, and then into the double crochet here, we're going to work a treble crochet. So yarn over and insert your hook, yarn over and pull through, yarn over and pull through 2, yarn over and pull through 2, and then chain 3 to move to the next space here, and into that space we're going to work 4 treble crochets, and 4. We're going to chain 3, and then into that same space we're going to work another 4 trebles. and then we'll chain 3 to move across to the next space, or to the next stitch, sorry. And into this stitch, we're going to work our treble crochet. And then we'll chain 3 to move back to the next space. And into this space, we're going to work our 4 trebles, our chain 3 and our 4 trebles, and we'll continue working all of the way around in that way. So once you've done that, you will chain 3, work a treble crochet into this double crochet here, and chain 3 to get to the next space where you'll work your 4 trebles, chain 3, 4 trebles. And then once you've worked all your way around, you'll finish exactly the same as before by joining to the starting chain with a slip stitch, and that will complete your large star. So you'll work 3 rounds for the small one, 5 rounds for the large one. I hope you enjoyed that tutorial and found it helpful. Don't forget to like and subscribe, and I will see you all again soon in the next video. Take care everyone, bye.